It was the 1992 Olympics. I was 10 years old at the time. I was watching this one swimmer, her name was Summer Sanders, and I was just like locked in. Like, whatever I need to do, I want to be her.
Shortly after her entering into my group, I recognized that she had some skills that might lend themselves to being an Olympic champion.
I had never heard of her until 1996. She walks out at the Olympic trials. She's, 14 years old, I think. I'm going, who is this punk kid?
I didn't think much of it. I was kind of naive to everything and just, yeah, I swim, I love what I do.
And then she makes the Olympic team. And I'm going, holy smokes.
The rest of the swimmers, they're like, how is this little girl beating us?
Yeah, when Amanda walked out to the blocks, she literally had a teddy bear. And I just thought it was so cute. That cuteness totally went away when she dove in the water. It was like, it's this animal, this like shark.
At 14, I won 2 silvers and a gold at that Olympics.
The time she put up in 1996 as a 14-year-old still hold up today, 30 years later.
I wasn't until I came home from the 96 Olympics, that's when everyone started to treat me a little bit differently.
That period of time was so stressful because everybody wanted to talk to her and meet her and get to know her and write articles about her. And she was just going into her freshman years in high school and trying to find your place. And on top of that, she's got this stigma, you're an Olympic swimmer.
I remember one person asked me in an interview, they're like, how's it feel to lose?
I never say lost the gold. You always say win the silver. I don't care if you're Michael Phelps or Amanda Beard, to win a silver medal is unbelievable.
Being a young, naive 14-year-old, when an adult tells you something like that, like how's it feel to lose, you believe them. You're like, oh, I did lose, I lost. Then you start to kind of almost not feel proud. I felt like I had to prove myself constantly because all these people would come to watch me swim and I was like, I gotta do something amazing or else I'm failing. If you look back at footage from there, I'm 5'2", I'm like 95 pounds. I'm teeny tiny. And I went through puberty after that. So I went from 5'2" to 5'8", 95 pounds, like 120, 125 pounds. So my swimming kind of tanked. I felt like every time I dove in the pool, I wasn't me.
From about 15 to like 18, 19, 20, she's not improving her times, and she just kept fighting through it.
But 2000 rolled around, I was not supposed to go to that Olympics at all. I was not seeded to make it. I went to Sydney. I ended up winning the bronze medal from an outside lane. I know it was bronze, but everyone that kind of made fun of the silver medals, I was like, I'm back, let's do this. It was one of those moments where I felt like, I can do this. I can figure out how to get back on top again. 2004, I was 22 at the Athens Olympics. I won a gold and 2 silvers at that Olympics.
In this race in Athens, she was behind 3/4 of the race. I was a little excited thinking, okay, come on, Amanda, come on, show me. She swam back the last 50 and won the race, so she was spectacular.
I mean, she made 4 Olympic teams, and that qualifies my book as one of the GOATs.
I'm just so proud of her never quitting, never giving up.
Amanda Beard is on Mount Rushmore of the greatest female breaststrokers in history.
You can always go to an Olympic medal performance, go, oh, that was great, but it's watching her always striving for the best out of herself. That's probably the monument to her career is never quitting, never giving up.
My dad has 4 Olympic medals. He entered 4 Olympic events and he got 4 medals.
Well, my name is Thane Baker. I'm from Elkhart, Kansas, small town in southwestern Kansas. Grew up there, lived the whole life there until I went to Kansas State University, which was the best thing that happened in my life going there. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, Glenn Cunningham from my hometown ran in the 1936 Olympics, and he came back to Elkhart and had a Glenn Cunningham Day, and he ran down Main Street in his Olympic uniform, and I was standing there watching him, and that's the finest thing I ever saw. So I turned around to my father and said, I want to run the Olympics someday. And so all through school growing up, I ran everywhere I went.
And then when he was 14, there was a work accident.
I was working in a garage and I got a piece of steel in my knee. And 2 operations later, the doctor said, we can't get the steel out.
So they told him he had to give up athletics. He couldn't participate in any sports.
Yeah, I know the doctor sat there on the bed next to me and said, give up athletics. My mother had tears rolling down her cheeks over there because she knew my dream was to run. And of course, I told my mother, that's going to be the end of my dream.
2 years later, after limping through high school, he got permission to go out for athletics again.
Well, he was a guy who didn't necessarily have an enormous amount of success at the high school level.
And in the 100, I got last place, and in the 220, I got last place. I went to Kansas State, and the coach put an article in the Kansas State Collegian one day. If anybody would like to try out for the track team, show up at Nichols Gym at 7 o'clock, and we'll talk about it.
And coach said, sure, come on, give it a try, and he just blossomed.
He got faster and faster.
It was amazing that he was able to do what he was able to do as a walk-on.
We ran in the NCAA and AU meet.
And there my dad qualified for the Olympic trials. Then when he went to the Olympic trials, he qualified for the Olympic team in the men's 200 meters and took off. You're in the outside lane, see on the left?
City who forges ahead to break the tape in 20 7/10 seconds, equaling the Olympic record set by Jesse Owens in 1946.
And everybody hugs, and then, look, Dad, you go off and do a little dance.
How do you do that?
He won a silver medal in the men's 200 meters, wearing borrowed socks and borrowed shoes. He and my mom got married, and then my dad went to Germany. My mom soon followed. And there he is working in Germany as an officer, and he gets a letter from Washington, D.C. Hey, would you like to come back to the United States and train for the 1956 Olympic team as a member of the Air Force? He got a gold medal in the 4x100 meters. They set a world record. He got a silver medal in the 100 meters and then a bronze medal in the 200 meters.
When you walk into the Olympic Stadium for the first time, you're numb. I mean, you're trying to take in everything, but you're there for a purpose, but you're almost numb. Is this really happening? Can this be what I wanted my whole life? Okay, now what am I going to do with it? What am I going to do with my opportunity? And when you're lucky enough to make the Olympic team and put on your spikes and run in the Olympics, do the best you can.
I always get the question, if you could have your sight back, would you? And I always emphatically say, no. I thought we established that I was blind. I mean, how are we going to make this happen?
Coming to high school, all freshmen had to take a PE and health class.
We had a fitness test one day. One of the activities was standing long jump.
We took Lex over to the long jump pit, and I said, Lex, I want you to long jump. And he looked at me like, no way.
That was very frightening for someone to ask you to run as fast as you can down a runway that's not that wide, propel your body through the air and land in the sand. Or pray to God you land in the sand.
And I said, Lex, you just got to try it. And he jumped, and it was really close to 14 feet. I just took off and ran across the field because I was so excited to see that this kid could do this. I mean, it was unreal.
So from there, it was like, all right, have you ever heard of the Paralympic Games? That is when that fire lit within me.
We joked about going from Athens Drive High School to Athens, Greece. That became the goal, his senior year. But in order for Lex to qualify, he's got to get to 19 feet 4 inches. On his very last jump, Lex jumped 19 feet 4 inches exactly.
And that qualified him to be a member of the USA Paralympic team.
Gradually get it up, knees.
A guide is someone who, they are essentially your eyes and making sure that you are able to train at a high level.
I had 2 weeks to prepare Lex to get him ready for the games in Athens, Greece.
In those 2 weeks, we were able to cover a lot of ground and get to that point of going to Athens.
As soon as I set him up on the long jump runway, I stand at the end of the runway close to the pit. I start yelling, fly, 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 fly. And as you hear the tempo gets faster, that means he's getting closer and closer to me. I'm supposed to move out the way. Unfortunately, I didn't move out the way fast enough. So he hits me. I'm over onto the side hurt, and I look back. He's in the sand hurt. It's like, what do I do now? This guy has trained hard to get to the games. So immediately I walk over to him. He jumps up. He's like, I'm all right. Let's do this again. So as soon as we got on that runway, fly, 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 fly.
That is where he earned his first medal. I was in awe.
He's on the podium. If Lex crosses that finish line, if Lex jumps far, I feel successful.
He earned another medal in 2008, 2012, 2016, all silver medals. And it has just been a wonderful journey.
No need for sight when you have a vision. It's what do you want to accomplish? You got to know where you're going if you want to get there.
Living in a world where a lot of people doubt me, I knew that God always saw something bigger, better, brighter, and greater within me. I just always felt like he had my back and, eventually I would do something awesome. I didn't think it would be this awesome, though.
Wrestling is in the dirt of Iowa. It's a part of our culture here. The Carr family is one of the most important families in the history of college wrestling.
1980 Big 8 champion at 150 pounds, Nate Carr, currently ranked #1 in the country.
Nate Carr had some moves that nobody did.
Nate Carr, some flashy work, got all the takedowns.
He had fluidness, he had power.
You don't win 3 NCAA titles without having a huge heart. Just to get to the Olympics for any athlete in any sport from any country is incredible.
The Olympics in 1988 in Korea, he lost a very controversial match. It could have easily went his way and he could have been wrestling for gold.
And you've put in the work, you think, and then to have other people take it away from you is something you won't forget.
Nate Carr was phenomenal when he was here, but right now, David Carr is the name.
Well, as soon as I heard he was coming to Iowa State and I saw the last name, gee, I wonder if he's in relation to Nate Carr.
If you look at the Carr family, we do not have an Olympic gold medalist. So now that opportunity has been passed on to David.
Legacy is not what you leave for someone, it's what you leave in someone.